Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Collard Valley Cooks. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious pecan pie, and my pecan pie turns out perfect every time. So if you want to make the pecan pie this year, boy, you can sign up for it, and there'll be no mistakes if you go right by my instructions. All right. You're going to see this in our new cookbook, and the new cookbook is not a spiral. This is my draft, but you're going to see that I have pecan pie on this page. It is Tammy's Pecan Pie, recipe 469. There you got it. Many of us cannot wait to get to the dessert table and get a piece of good old pecan pie. But sometimes, sadly, when our family members pass away that have always made these classics, several of us will try to make it and may even fail and bring a pecan pie to the family function that is burned or is runny on the inside. I'm going to show you how to make it perfect every time, just like Grandma's. You will not be disappointed. We're going to get started. You're going to start with 2 tablespoons of melted butter in your dish. You're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. You're going to mix in your sugar and eggs. And today we're making a deep dish version, so we add 1 extra egg, okay? So we're going to use a cup of sugar and 3 eggs instead of 2 eggs because we're putting this in a larger pie dish. Now we're going to whisk this in together really good before adding the rest of our ingredients. So just do a really good job. Pick it up and beat it good. Get those eggs beat up in there, okay? Nobody wants a scrambled egg in their pie. Now, we're going to add the remaining ingredients. So easy, y'all. A little bit of vanilla, of course. I'm going to be using a teaspoon. And I don't know if your mama did, but my mama did. Used Watkins vanilla. So that's what I'm using this year. Sometimes I change up. Balancing the flavors are very important in a pecan pie. That's why I like to use a mixture of light and dark corn syrup. So we will be using half light and half dark. If you've never done it this way, I urge you to try it. We're going to be using Karo syrup, which is corn syrup. I got dark and light, and we're going to add a half cup each into this pie. We're going to just spray this a little bit with some cooking spray, and that way it'll come right out of there when we get ready to take it out. So you're going to have a half cup of dark. All right, and then a half cup of white. And we're going to add that to our bowl. Another thing that many people forget to add to their pecan pie is salt. Boy, it makes it good. It gets a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Boy, it smells good already. Now what I do is I mix this up and I pour it over the pecans, and it makes them taste really toasty. It's really good. See how easy that is? That's it. You got butter, sugar, eggs, corn syrup, vanilla extract, salt. Oh, I about forgot the flour. Now, since we made a deep dish, instead of 1.5 teaspoons of flour, it's 2 teaspoons of flour because it's got an extra egg in it. Now, what that flour does is it keeps it nice and soft on the inside without being runny. It just adds just a hint of stuff to help it stick together, okay? But it's still a delicious pie. I don't think it's going to be doughy or anything crazy like that. That's Mama's secret ingredient to me, and she used to be a grandma, but she was actually a mama. All right. Now, I typically pour this over the pecans. Another thing that many people seem to have a hard time with is getting the right amount of pecans in the pie plate. And there's holes in it, like they're not distributed evenly, like they didn't put quite enough pecans. So I can give you, and let's see if I do. I say 1 1/2 cups, which is a lot. So you should have plenty of pecans. But we're going to add them to this, and then I put it in the oven. But adding the pecans directly to your pie dish helps solve that problem. So what I do is I take my pecans and I put them in the pie dish. Now you've got to remember, this is going to rise up, but you want enough pecans in here that it's going to cover the entire surface area, and it's going to be just a little bit wider as it goes up. So just make sure you got plenty of pecans down in the bottom. The more the merrier, in my opinion. You can chop them if you want to. You can leave them whole. I usually leave them whole. Mama did. But if you got somebody that's hard to chew or whatever, things are hard to chew, you can... If you're enjoying this video, please give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please head down, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Chop them up. Now, another thing you can do is, instead of adding your salt to your mix, you can sprinkle salt all over the pecans prior to putting your filling on top. And you can do that. Now, I'm not going to pour this in the pie crust in the oven because I've got a really easy pie dish. In other words, I don't think I'm going to make a mess trying to get it into the oven. So we're just going to pour it over the pecans. You just go all the way around, pour it good around the pecans. And make sure you get all of it in here. Now this is a deep pie crust, so it may look a little wimpy, but I wasn't going to double it because it's just me and Chris and the neighbors eating. And I'm making 2 pies in 2 days. All right. Just kind of move everything around and see if you think you got enough pecans in there. And if you need to add a couple of pecans, you can. Like there's a hole. I think I'm going to wind up using all of them that were in this bag. I got these from my neighbors, and so they're actually going to get some of this pie. I'm going to make sure these get coated. All right. Now I am going to slide this into the oven and get it to cooking. It says that it is going to bake at 325 degrees for 60 minutes. I like mine really done. Matter of fact, my granny would cook hers so long that it would become chewy around the edges, and we loved it like that. But now, even at 60 minutes, it's perfect. It should be fine. Now, if for some reason it looks like your pie is getting too brown, put some foil over it. to keep it from doing that. But baking it down at 325 is smart. If your oven runs hot, then turn it down to 300 and bake it. But know that it could take it longer to get done on the inside. But the good thing about that is it's not going to get too brown. The last thing you want is your pecans to get burned. Okay? It's going to be good. I'll see you in a few minutes. Today, I have 2 refrigerated pie crusts at room temperature. I am going to knead them together just with a real lightly floured surface. And then we'll roll it out. You just want to kind of get it together so that it has a nice even texture when you roll it out for the pie. Just kind of fold it under and go ahead and flatten it with your hands in a circle a little bit. Now, make sure you got a little bit of flour on the surface and a little on the top, not much. Now I'm just going to take my thumb where I made those higher sides and I'm going to pinch it and make it go up higher on all the sides like petals. It's time to take out the pecan pie. Ooh, it's nice and brown. Nice and brown. Now the pecans were dark to begin with. When you make one that's a deeper dish, it takes it longer to get done. And if you open up the oven and you pat it on the top like this and it's still a little jiggly, then it has to cook until it sets up all the way across. And it may take a little longer. If you want to, you can put some foil on it. Just make sure you got your oven turned down. It didn't get too brown, but it did get dark, but that's okay. It looks beautiful and it's going to taste delicious. All right, we're going to cut our pecan pie. It is still a little bit warm on the very bottom. We're going to cut it anyway. It looks good, and it's still hot, pretty much. Ooh, it looks good. You get this little part that stayed in here. I'll try it for y'all. It's delicious. You can see how it sets up good. And like I said, it's still warm and it's still pretty. It is the best no-fail pecan pie you'll make, I promise. If you've tried my pecan pie recipe, I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you go ahead and try it this Thanksgiving, come back and leave us a comment. We thank you for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. We'll see you next time. We love you. Bye.